Hey coach, I have some practical advice for you today, and I'm specifically talking to coaches who work with entry-level professionals. I was recently visiting home, and if you don't know, for me, home is Atlanta, Georgia. I ran into somebody I knew was recently trying to get into the HR space and get her first entry-level HR job. And so, of course, I asked how that was going. And she said she was having a difficult time when it came to salary because she was looking for a salary of $37,000 and employers just were not offering that. Now, remember, this is Georgia. And if you do not understand why it matters that this is Georgia, I've got a link in the comments to a previous post about markets and geography. Read it. And if you need more information, sign up for the waiting list for PayPath Foundations. All right, back to the story. So she said she was having a hard time with the salary piece. And so on my way home, I'm thinking, well, what do we do? How do we resolve this? Because if you know me, you know, if you tell me you're looking for a job, I am now also looking for a job with you. Okay, so I'm thinking about what to do. And I came up with two solutions, one of which may not work for her. The other could very well work. And so I'm going to share them with you because for your entry-level clients, they're going to experience this issue when it comes to minimum wages. Okay, so the state of Georgia, the minimum wage is what it is. However, in certain employers, they often set their own minimum wages. And that is true for government agencies. So a lot of government agencies, even though the state or the county might have its own minimum wage, the agency will say, we are going to pay no less than this. And you can see that by looking online at a government's salary schedule. It's usually called a salary schedule or a pay schedule. And you can find what the minimum dollar amount is for an hourly rate or even an annual rate. And that way, you know that if you work in this employer, you're never going to make lower than that amount because of the type of work that they pay for. And so in that instance, that would work for her because if she finds a government agency and their minimum rate is, say, $19, she knows she won't make less than $19 at that agency. So that's number one. Number two, if your client is working in a state where counties or cities are allowed to set their own minimum rates, even if the state has a lower one, Maryland is like that, where counties can set their own minimum rates. So if your client is working in a county where the minimum wage is maybe $15, but the county over has a higher minimum wage, then just shift your focus to the next county. Shift your focus to the county that allows your client to get the minimum wage that they are looking for. And it's really that simple. Sometimes it's not about skill. Sometimes it's not about strategy. Sometimes it's just about your market focus. If the market you're looking at isn't working, shift and keep moving forward. Okay? See you guys next time. Bye.